Hear ye the word of the Lord, O kings of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents. They have built also the high places of Baal, to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it to my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall be no more be called Valley of the Son of Hinnom, but the Valley of Slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives. And their carcasses will I give to be meat for the fowls of the heaven, and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straitness, wherewith their enemies, and they that seek their lives shall straiten them. Then shalt thou break the bottle in the sight of the men that go with thee, and shall say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, even so I will break this people, as one breaketh a potter's vessel, that cannot be made whole again. And they shall bury them in Tophet, till there will be no place to bury.
This is one of those biblical passages that when you come across it as a Christian, you just can't believe that it's in there. There's quite a few chapters and stories in the Bible that just are jaw-droppingly horrifying and disturbing, that usually get glanced over, or stupid excuses are made about them by apologists. So here we have Jeremiah chapter 19. And basically, God is about to bring judgment on this city where they are worshiping false gods, committing human sacrifices, doing all sorts of things that he doesn't like. And so he's going to bring judgment upon them. So the first way that apologists would probably attempt to get out of this is just by saying these people obviously deserved to be judged, and that God had to do something to stop them. Because it says right here, they were burning people alive as sacrifices to Baal. So naturally, they're burning their own children alive as human sacrifices. The apologist is going to say, obviously God has to stop them. Obviously he can't let this sort of thing just go on. He's a good God. He has to stop this from happening. But there's problems with this idea that God is just stepping in to save the children, stop them from performing these sacrifices. The most glaring of which is obviously by the end of the verses, the children are not saved. They've been eaten alive by their own parents and loved ones, and it spares no one. Everyone will taste the flesh of their friend. So you can't really weasel your way out of it by trying to say God's trying to save the children. They're all eaten by the end of this as part of the punishment. And if you actually read it carefully, God's problem with this, the sacrifices, is not that they're human sacrifices taking place. It's not that there's people being burned alive as offerings. It's that they're burning them alive for Baal and not him. Verse 5, they have built high places of Baal to burn their sons as burnt offerings for Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. It's not about the children at all. It's about God from moment 1 of chapter 19. They forsook him, they estranged this place, they burned incense unto other gods. It's all about him. So the apologists can't really get out of it by trying to say, oh, these people were wicked and they needed to be punished. There was no way to redeem them. The whole thing is couched in this analogy of these people. The prophet Jeremiah is sent to break a piece of pottery that will represent these people God is about to judge, because they are broken and cannot be repaired. So God is basically admitting complete and utter failure and taking petty vengeance because they decided to worship somebody other than him. And he's not only cursing them for forsaking him, he's cursing the entire place that will be known as the Valley of Slaughter. And apologists might attempt to say that this judgment is okay, again, because they're irredeemable, but God's not just judging them. And this isn't just some ordinary, like, God is Superman punishing a villain by giving him one too many punches in the face. This is God destroying an entire city, causing them to have mass cannibalism and to be eaten alive by animals and to be consumed by their enemies, plague, and that the place that he's judging will go on to live in infamy as a valley of slaughter. There's nothing good about what God is doing in the story. There's nothing just or fair about it either. Mass cannibalism of children that will leave no one behind until there is no room left to bury people. This place will be a graveyard. God is going to leave a mass grave. So this series is going to focus on moments like this in the Bible where there's plenty of verses where, and passages and stories that you come across and you're just like, how is that in the Bible? The good book, we were all taught to revere and love as children. As you know, there's pretty much no better way to make an atheist to have a Christian read the entirety of the Bible. So this series will basically be highlighting some of the more terrifying, disgusting passages, the passages that really make God out to be a monster, like in his own book. The book that he supposedly wrote, or inspired, or whatever. And yet here he is. I mean, this is the kind of behavior you expect from a villain, you expect from Cthulhu, maybe. Mass genocide, destruction, chaos, sowing the seeds of evil. This is not something you expect from God, even in his most judgmental. I don't think Christians would expect that. There's this idea that everyone can be saved. Everyone can be redeemed within Christianity. There's just no way to defend mass cannibalism without making yourself out to be either crazy or just plain immoral, just plain, fucked up in the head. So naturally, I hope to do more of these and hope that I will have some viewers.